What's going on, guys? Kyle Fry here with Resilient Strength. Exciting video for you guys today. We're gonna go through the 3 lifts that comprise a powerlifting meet. So that's gonna be the squat, the bench press, and the deadlift. We're gonna go through all the cues that you need to remember call-out wise that the referee will need to give you. We're also gonna go through some good execution points that will be really beneficial in the way you do your lifts. So without further ado, let's get into the squat. For this exercise, we're gonna be setting up for a squat as you would in a powerlifting meet. So what that means is we're gonna do everything with the same cues as you would need to follow to complete a successful lift in a meet. So a couple things to think about with regards to the actual rules is one, you need to have your hip crease drop below the level of your knee. So hip crease needs to be below knee. You need to obviously wait for the commands. If you don't have somebody saying the commands for you, that's fine. Let's just make sure we're following the rules of depth. Number 2, we can go high bar or low bar. So high bar just means up kind of on the upper traps up here. Low bar, you're working it down a little bit lower onto the rear delts. Regardless of your bar position, we need to make sure core is remaining tight. We're pulling the rib cage down, making sure we've got a good stack through the pelvis and rib cage. If you wear a belt, wear a belt. If you wear knee sleeves, wear those. If you wear heeled shoes, wear those as well, just to make it as competition-like as possible. So we're gonna unrack the bar, take our 1 to 2 steps out, big breath at the top, brace, lock everything in, and we're gonna treat every rep like it's a single rep, even if it's a set of 6 to 8 or so. So you're gonna drop down, squat, come back up with power, reset, re-breathe, and go again. So I'm gonna do an example of low bar. We're gonna get the bar down on the rear delts. Make sure you're stacked to unrack it. 2 steps back. Toes can be pointed slightly out. Brace. And then walk it back in when you're done your set. For stance width, we're just gonna worry about feet can be either hip width, shoulder width, maybe even slightly wider depending on your body structure and what's comfortable for you in competition. Toes can point slightly out, they can be straight ahead. Wherever the toes point though, the knees should follow. We never want our knees to be caving inwards as compared to our toes. So let's put all that together and execute a perfect squat every single rep. For this exercise, we're gonna follow all the cues that you would need to follow during a powerlifting meet. So we're gonna talk about the rules first. In the bench press, there's quite a few things you need to consider. To start, your feet need to stay flat on the floor. Your butt, your shoulders, and your head all need to stay in contact with the bench. When you're under the bar, you can use as wide a grip as you like up to a certain point. So the rings on the bar, you can't be any wider than those. So you had to at least having a finger touching the ring. We had to come all the way down, touch the chest, pause for a second or so. That kind of is dependent on the referee. So in training, just give it a quick pause for a second and press back up. And then we had to fully lock out the elbows at the top. Obviously in a meet, you have to wait for your commands. If you don't have a training partner, don't worry about the commands. Let's always make sure we have the stoppers up at a point where you can still touch your chest, but if you were to fail a rep or something, you wouldn't get crushed because the stoppers would be there. For actual execution of the lift, we're gonna bring our feet, tuck our feet under wherever you're comfortable doing that while you can still keep them flat. Let's think, create a bit of an arch, whatever you're comfortable doing. You don't need these excessive arches that we see sometimes, but there is a benefit to getting kind of as much as you can, just to almost decrease the range of motion to just make an advantage for you. We're gonna squeeze the shoulder blades back and down and hold them there throughout the whole lift. I don't want you to be at the top pushing your shoulders out. We wanna keep them there and just press up using the chest, shoulders, elbows all together. You can wear a belt if you wear a belt. wrist straps if you wear those, whatever is going to make it competition-like for you. So, gonna show you a demonstration now. Lean back, find your grip width. I like to go middle finger on the ring. That's a fairly wide stance. We need the feet flat, shoulder blades pulled together and down. It's nice to have a lift off from a partner, but if you don't have one, just do it yourself. Lift off, fully locked out, come all the way down, touch the chest, press back up to a full lockout. Under control on the way down, make sure you're touching the same spot every time, and then press up with strength. For this exercise, we're gonna set up with a barbell on the ground like we have here. We're gonna follow all the cues as you would have to in a powerlifting meet. So the only cue that really is set in a meet is down, and that's once you get to a fully locked out position at the top. Although even after you hear the down command, you have to control the weight all the way down, or at least keep a handle on it. You can't just drop it and let it go, or your lift doesn't count. So let's not make a habit of dropping weights in our training, just so that when you get on the platform, it's not gonna be in the back of your mind to just drop the weight. So we're gonna start. A good stance width is usually your most powerful position where you can jump from. So you're gonna find that position. You can hold the bar with either a mixed grip, double overhand grip, or hook grip, but we're gonna probably use mixed grip most of the time because hook grip is tough on the thumbs, and double overhand, you're just gonna be limited at some point. So we're gonna go down, grab the bar, mixed grip, get a good brace. When I say good brace, I mean pull the rib cage down, make sure you're stacked, core is engaged, breathe into your stomach as much as you can, brace down hard, and then go to lift the weight up. If you wear a belt, wear a belt. Wear whatever shoes you would use to deadlift in competition, just to make it game-like. When you grab the bar, we're gonna first think about pulling our elbows back or pointing them back behind us, kind of locking in the lats. Think about if someone was to try and tickle your armpit from behind, you're kind of blocking them from doing that. That's gonna get our back engaged and help keep it nice and straight. We're gonna keep the low back straight as well as we pick up the weight. So there it is, guys. Squat, bench, deadlift. The commands for the powerlifting meets are there for you. Some execution cues for you to take home. Hope you learned a thing or two. If you're interested in it, powerlifting coaching or any other strength and conditioning coaching, you can hit up resilientstrength.net, and you can get started right now with the free movement assessment and introduction workout. There's no obligation required, but this session will give me everything that's needed to build you a fully customized program and make sure we get your needs under control so that we can progress in the most effective and efficient manner. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.